Good to see you all here tonight. I'm going to give you a 5-minute thing of my life.
Can make it 6 minutes. I know how to say
6 minutes. I was at the age of 5. I was very mischievous. My dad was away at sea. My mum was bringing myself and my sister up. I took the girls' bicycle across the road and ran all around Mixham for 2 hours in the evening on the bicycle main road. And then I walked into the kitchen on the way to work one day, and what did I say on the way to school? I was only 5. I worked for a child, I didn't school to work for a child. And I walked in and she was rolling all over the floor in agony, screaming, ah! She said, get Mrs. Haynes the neighbour. So I got Mrs. Haynes the neighbour, went off to school. When I came back, she was in hospital. My grandmother was there, took me and my sister to her house, miles away, for 3 weeks. My father came back from sea, we were put in a children's home. My mother, that year, died of cancer. So it really gave me a lot of stress, nightmares, temper tantrums. I put a girl in hospital with a knife at the age of 5. I started getting into violent tempers, into trouble. I'm kind of very short. In my teens, I started to push drugs. I was in trouble with the police at the age of 13. I should have been in trouble earlier, but I wasn't. I ended up pushing drugs to drug pushers. I was getting drugs, people coming from all over southeast of England to me to get drugs. I had protection. I had hatchet men, I had men with rifles, shooters. When the police finally got me, they found 29 hypodermic syringes, thousands and thousands and thousands of drugs. It took them hours to count them. But you know, I think they did a naughty thing. I think they took some of those drugs. I didn't get charged for everything. So that did me a favour, actually. Didn't get done with the gun. You know, my first office savings book was here in Streatham, believe it or not, although I don't live here. I was in a detention centre. The warden was a Christian. I was put on probation. The probation officer was a Christian. I think God was trying to get at me. My mother knew the Lord. She went to be with Jesus when she was only 28. And you know, God had a work in hand for me. And when I came to get out of the detention centre, I had nowhere to live. My probation officer brought along a church leader who took me into their home. I was there 4 days. I gave my heart to Jesus. I prayed for 3 hours. Jesus changed my life. I see I've got a grace working in my life. I was called onto the mission field. I've been to about 40, 50 countries. I've lost count. I preached the gospel in many places. I was in Tehran when Khomeini came to power. Remember Ayatollah Khomeini? I spoke to the chief of secret police. He admitted to me that he was a Muslim on the outside, but not on the inside. I was giving out tracts about Jesus when the Islamic Revolution went on, and they were surrounding the British and the American embassies, held them captive. And I'm in Tehran giving out the gospel. I went to India and I preached before the militant Hindus about Jesus Christ and against idolatry, because Jesus changes lives. And when you get your life changed, you can change other lives by the grace of God. Not just that, I've seen many sick people healed. A Muslim was dying in hospital. I prayed for him. But no, the hospital said that he was going to die within 2 days. They kept turning up the oxygen. He was a bad asthmatic, but the oxygen wasn't helping him. He had the death quote. Have you heard of the death quote before? Yes, he had that. And I said, Lord, if you want to pray for him, give me the green light. A little girl lying by his bedside beckoned me in. I said, Lord, give me the green light. I put my hand on his hand, his eyes were closed, he opened his eyes, he looked at me. Immediately I saw faith in his eyes to be healed. I opened my mouth to pray, and all that came up was, be healed in the name of Jesus. Very quietly, but authoritative. The next day, he was out of bed eating. They discharged him. Then that lady said to me, my brother's had 3 heart attacks, we feel he's going to die. Can you pray for him? I forgot, and then the next day she said, oh, you forgot? Oh yes, I went, saw him, prayed for him. He was released. I was still in hospital. I was in hospital with hepatitis B for 12 days. Very effective in India. I travelled all over India, north, south, east, west. The only parts I didn't get was a very high part of Srinagar, wasn't allowed there. But God has done remarkable things in my life, and this is the the story that I need to tell you, that God can do remarkable things in everybody's life. The prayer I prayed was, Lord Jesus, come into my heart, take over my life. And that's the prayer I prayed. And that's what we need to pray. Thank you.
Amen.